searching for you. I'm still searching for you. From dirt to the sky, I'm still searching for you. 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 I'm still from dirt to the sky. I'm still searching for you.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
You disgust me.
Who gives a shit?
Go on.
I made it the fuck up.
I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. It's glorious.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. It's your T-shirt historian. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Bravo! It's good to see you.
I'm alive, and that's everybody's problem.
Oh, I'm glad you're alive, buddy. I am. How's your chest?
It's just barg. It's pain. It's itchy. The lungs. The doctor took a look at it. The lungs adhere to the chest wall, and
Ow.
I'm good. No, actually, it's supposed to.
Oh.
Your lung is supposed to be adhered to your chest wall.
Okay.
When you collapse, it's when it just hangs in there, and that's when you end up like I was. Flat
Oh,
on my back, going, I can't breathe.
I thought literally when they collapse, it's just kind of like, they just kind of turn into a used condom and just kind of.
Pretty much, yeah. They just hang in the open spot. But my problem was I had a tear, so every time I inhaled, it pushed air into the chest cavity, so it started crushing my heart.
Ugh.
It was fun.
Glad you're okay, man. Driving at Dragons. Hey, Daniel, how are you, man? All right, yeah. This show has seemed like it was cursed because it seemed like every time I wanted to do a Tuesday show, we had something come up, and last week was no exception because, I got stuck in the ER until 8 o'clock, so that was fun. I mean, I literally spent 8 hours in the ER, so that was fun. Yeah, it appears that... What?
Well, I'm glad you're not there.
I'm glad I'm not there.
What was it? If you don't mind.
Well, I've been kind of reluctant to talk about it because I really feel like it's embarrassing.
It's herpes.
No, I wish it was herpes. You could just take a shot for that, but no, actually, I have a tear in my abdominal wall.
Ooh.
And literally my guts are trying to escape my body.
Yeah.
And The problem is every once in a while I will do a little bit too much exertion, and my abdominal muscles will clench up, and that kind of constricts things. And when that happens, I am almost thrown to the ground in pain, and trying to vomit and puking up bile, and just generally not being a happy camper. So yeah, that's really fun, and that's not something that's gonna go away anytime soon. I'm gonna have to get surgery for this eventually. But
Yes, you do, because otherwise it's going to strangulate, and then you're going to drop dead.
yeah,
I'll get the fishing wire.
yeah,
Yeah.
or worse, it'll get some, something nasty trapped in there, and then that'll go necrotize, and that'll kill me.
So do you do the thing of tie a belt around your waist so it pushes everything back into the tear?
No, I literally just take the palm of my hand and press it in there as hard as I can until, and take really deep breaths. So I'm literally shoving my guts back into my body all the time.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, there you go. There's my big medical issue right now. It sucks.
Oof.
And everything they gave me for it is kind of useless because let me see, what did they give me? Let's see. Oh no, that's my Celebrex. Yeah, that makes me feel old. They gave me Celebrex for my knees.
What?
The good thing is they said my knees look okay. They just said, other than the arthritis type conditions, I've got a band running down my left leg that needs to get stretched out. So taking the Celebrex. But let me see. Cipro. No, that's really wonderful stuff. They gave me clonidine. And I guess it's to lower... Yeah, it's to lower my blood pressure. I'm kind of like, I'm already taking blood pressure meds, dude.
Yeah, when I was in the hospital, they'd wake me up and be like, "Hey, man, we need you to sit up. We need you to sit up and take a couple of big deep breaths because your blood pressure is really low." And I looked over once and caught it, and it was 85/45.
Jesus.
And they're
That's
like,
very low.
And the nurse was like, if this keeps up, we're just gonna come in here and like give you meth or something, or maybe some coke. I'm like, is it that bad? She goes, yeah, your blood pressure's not supposed to be that low.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I took the clonidine, I'm sure it would drop my blood pressure. But if I'm taking it along with all the other stuff I take, I'm pretty sure I'd stroke out. But let me see what else they gave me. They gave me ondansetron, which is supposed to be for the nausea, which is great. But then I read the side effects are like blindness and all this other shit, and I'm just kind of like, did you guys give me anything that I could use? Because it's like everything that you gave me, that you prescribed me with, to help this situation out, it probably works, but it's only good if, I'm not working. If I'm trying to hold down a job, none of this shit is going to work for me because I can't be blind. I can't be like falling over and slumping in my chair and sleeping and all this other stuff.
You mean you never saw Weekend at Bernie's?
I mean, literally, that's probably what would happen. I'd take the clonidine, I'd go into work, and then it would mix with my Celebrex, and then I'd be like, how come we can't get T-shirted up? His blood pressure is incredibly low, and he's not breathing.
Yeah, that's another one. Was we need you to wake up, take a couple deep breaths because your O2 sats are down in the 70s.
Jesus.
Like fuck. Like, oh well.
Oh man, and being in the ER really sucks. They don't put you in a hospital bed; they put you on a gurney, and when you lay on that thing for 8 hours, your spine starts to protest and something fierce. And at one point, I was just kind of like, "Jesus Christ, please just let me turn over on my side because I'm dying here."
Your skeleton wants to escape.
Yes, my skeleton was literally trying to adhere itself to the fucking gurney, and I'm just like, ugh. And they CT scanned me, so that wasn't so bad, really. CT scan's okay.
Well, T-shirt, when worse comes worse, make sure you leave me some of your RPG books.
If I remember, I tell you the worst part though is they were feeding me IV stuff, and it's like I had to pee all the time, and of course it's an ER room, so they don't have a bathroom in there, so they
really?
can. Nope, they just provided these little urinals, and I told the nurse, I said, I've been increasing my hydration lately, so I'm drinking 1.89 liters of water a day. She's like, I'll leave you 2 of these. And I said, good. And as it happens, I filled both those fuckers up within, a couple hours. So that was enjoyable. Plus, when you have to go get CT scanned, they shoot you up with all kinds of stuff to, help clarify what's going on. And that stuff makes you have to pee also. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's me. I'm still here, though. We still made a show. We're still here. Boy, do we have some funny shit for you today.
Hey.
So, okay, the latest thing that we've heard, and don't worry, Caster, I will definitely get to the diamond thing with you, because I know almost nothing about what happened. I've been, working all day, so I didn't have any time to research the diamond thing.
Yeah, that's basically become the dominant story. I mean, unless you want to, of course, talk about that other, diamond story.
Well, this is a different kind of a diamond story, but we're here. So yeah, this is a tweet from Jason Bullman. Jason Bullman. Yeah.
He's got me blocked because I called him names about a year ago.
Well, when everybody was trying to cancel me, he was one of the guys who jumped on the wagon and said that we were horrible people. But yeah, he says if Vance has played Pathfinder, and he's talking about J.D. Vance, I want him to send his books back. No space for fascists in our game.
So to give a little context for when that took place, this was right around the time I believe that J.D. Vance was announced as Trump's VP pick.
Mm-hmm.
And around that time, a bunch of stories were kind of popping up, like supposedly he's a bit of a nerd himself. He likes Tolkien. He's played Magic. I think at one point he named a business after a secondary or tertiary character from the Lord of the Rings to, I guess, impress a mentor of his. Or so I've heard. And so, naturally being the peak of the political season, you have had people who've decided to make everything political. And so, someone who has a soapbox to stand on from behind a store's, windows has decided to go ahead and let everyone know that he wants to be a gatekeeper. When, about 4 or 5 years prior, he himself was saying we really cannot afford to have gatekeepers in the industry.
Yeah. Daniel says, I don't get the love for Paizo. It's literally WotC reprints with worse politics. Well, once upon a time, Pathfinder First Edition was good. And we liked it.
And we actually liked the crew back then because, me and you were on the alpha test together.
Mm-hmm.
God, remember when they were fielding that 20th level wizard should get to cast 1 wish a year?
Yeah.
As built into it, we were all like, that would totally destroy the world.
I mean, it's just, we'll just throw you a free wish every year. No. But this is kind of funny because this particular tweet comes from, as you can see, September 28th, 2020. So this is 5 years ago. Same guy. Who says, gatekeeping in the TTRPG space is ridiculous. Our hobby is far too small to exclude anyone, no matter their experience or interest level. If you play games, you are a gamer. If you make games, you are a game designer. If you like games, you are welcome here. So,
unless the Orange Man is involved.
I guess. I mean, Savo, I agree. I liked a lot of their early artists too. Like, was it Wayne Reynolds? That art was just great. And I guess he's still on there.
And the thing is, it's just so frustrating because we've had so many people from every side of the political spectrum who's pushed politics in one way, shape, or form. That some people will try to inherently make things, and say like, oh, orcs are black people, and therefore we have to go and we have to reflect that in the games. Or, well, you really don't get it on the other side, except maybe Mithrog.
I've got a copy of that. Let's see. Daniel says PF1 was just restricted 3.5e. I completely disagree, my man. With PF1 rules, we literally broke the game with some of our builds because by the time they stopped publishing it, they had so many races, they had so many what do you call them? Not classes, the advanced classes,
prestige classes, templates. You name it, it was in there.
Well, not the prestige classes. Nobody ever used the prestige classes.
I did.
What they used was the archetypes.
They also
the
used
archetypes.
Advanced classes.
The archetypes in the advanced classes got abused to hell, and you could come up with some absolutely broken shit in that game.
I did too. I came up with a lot of broken shit that I put out.
I
was one of the few publishers that actually did prestige classes.
So yeah, I don't know what you mean by restricted 3.5. There was nothing restricted about PF1. It took 3.5 out, and it pretty much just kicked all the walls out from it and just said, we're just going to leave the structure intact, and we're just going to throw everything in this fucker.
What a lot of people forget is the whole thing, all it was about taking the 3.5 OGL and rebuilding it because of the massive fan backlash against 4E. The only reason Pathfinder took off the way it did was because not only did Wizards of the Coast switch to 4E, but Wizards of the Coast was goddamn insulting about it. They were just plain insulting. They took ads out on N-World talking about how, oh, it's not for the basement anymore. And it's like, man, go fuck yourself.
Well, I was one of those people who initially, I liked Paizo, I liked Pathfinder 1. I mean, they had gay characters, but it wasn't like forefront of the game. It's kind of like, oh, that character's gay. Well, that's cool.
And you could flip it easy.
Well, they also had the first. Wait a minute. They had the first transgender character that I knew of, and I thought, wow, that's pretty progressive. That's pretty different and neat, and I liked the way they handled it. It wasn't until Pathfinder 2 that everything got thrown off the cliff, and it went to Wokesville.
I remember when it must have been 2010 or so, roughly, where they were teasing like one of the iconic like class characters is gay. They basically left it a mystery for people to speculate on. Like they just kind of put that out there, and then they left that alone.
Everybody knew it was the female sorceress with the weird tattoos.
Everybody
knew it was her.
Oh yeah.
What's funny is I'm going to come out and say, teacher, you worked with me at the time. Remember when I did Caravans, and there was the whole section on gay and transgender and cross-dressers, because half the time you couldn't be sure if that was going to be a guy or a girl when you rolled into the settlement, because most settlements, because of the zombie apocalypse, kept their women hidden away, and more women were killed than men. And I had a big section on it. And the thing is nobody threw a fit. Nobody got upset. I mean, it was a little weird to write, but the person who wrote it did an excellent job. But I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal until they started making it a huge deal. I remember people in the reviews were like, it's a little weird. There's a dude with a dress and with a prom dress and a battle axe killing zombies, but okay, the book makes it work.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that author too.
Yeah.
But actually, what got me is the fact that I'm really surprised that you didn't just get massive, huge backlash when you wrote Slavers, because I thought, oh, that was.
I did.
Did you?
No, I did, but I started to. But like the RPG sites and other places, I was like, do you remember who I am? I'm just going to tell you, go fuck yourself. Here's your money back. Eat a dick. Because, especially with the whole thing of, some slavers run nothing but child slavery rings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a brutal book.
A brutal book. And, like I said in the foreword, when I did all the research for it, I spent 3 months laying on the floor drinking beer afterwards, because it was the worst thing in the world. Yeah,
it's a serious topic, and it's, not to be trifled with or taken lightly, but, it happens, even today.
Paizo turned around and goes, oh, we're getting rid of slavery. We're not even going to explain why. Just slavery never existed in the campaign.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because I think it's like Kellyax or one of their major, demonic. Yeah, their major cities like pretty much founded on it, and it's a literal cornerstone of their way of life. So I'm just kind of like, how do you retcon that? And it's just kind of like they just kind of like pretend it didn't happen, just like they pretend that the goblins weren't actually these horrifying little monsters that would invade your town and eat your dogs and your horses and you and everything else.
Oh yeah, the goblins were nasty little things that were 90% mouth.
Yeah, I mean, they were made to be little horrifying animals. I mean, it's just like they literally they tell you, goblin children spend their first, I think, 6 months or something like that of birth or something in cages or something until they let them out.
Because they'll eat each other.
Mm-hmm. And then somehow, PF2 comes out and it's like, oh, the goblin homeland was destroyed. Oh, everybody feels sorry for the goblins. We're just going to integrate them into everything now.
They're cute little.
Flavor Nation is gone.
People. What? Yeah.
Yeah. The Slaver Nation's gone. The Pirate Empire is no longer a thing. It's like, well, half the stuff I thought was fun in this setting, you just got rid of. Why?
Mm-hmm. Well,
my players recently defeated the slave lords, the old A1 through 4, and we designed the world. It turned out that the rest of the world is on fire because apparently the slave lords raiding all the inner sea kept troop ships from crossing the sea for them to go to war. Nobody wanted to move their armies out because otherwise the slave lords would swoop in and grab an entire town. So it's kind of funny.
Well, the funny thing is, if you do play through the Slave Lord series, by the time you get to the end of it, it's kind of like you find out you really didn't have to do anything. It was going to be a self-solving problem.
Yes.
I feel like I could spoil this because the adventure is 40 years old, 50 years old by now.
50 years old.
Yeah,
that's 40 years old.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is by the time you get to it's like the Eyrie of the Slave Lords, I guess, or whatever the last module is. You escape from the dungeon, prison, cave hellhole that they threw you in. And when you get out, you find out that the island that the slave base is built on is having all kinds of volcanic eruptions and upheavals, and the whole place is going to be destroyed. So I'm just like, how anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Oh no! Someone pushed a button, and the whole place is gonna explode.
Yeah. So.
Well, it was the Cult of the Earth Dragon, and we use that where the Earth Dragon is now loose in our game.
Oh wow. So yeah. Like I said, that particular module is a self-solving problem. It's like if your players fail, oh well, it still blew up. So. But anyway, I have some really fun show and tell, but I mean, first I did want to just mention one more thing on the whole Jason Bullman thing. It's like, this guy was against gatekeeping and all this other stuff and walling people out and all this, and then all of a sudden it's kind of like he's gatekeeping, not wanting people to play. Now I don't know JD Vance from anybody other than that he's the upcoming president's vice president. Right?
No, yeah, he's the upcoming vice president.
Yeah, so it's like, somebody told me, oh, he's literally a fascist. You want him sitting at your table? And I'm just kind of like, I've had all kinds of people sitting at my tables, and I didn't agree with them 100%, but as long as we agreed to, be cool at the table and not be, dicks to each other, I'm okay with that.
The thing is, it's a hobby where we should be able to just leave everything at the door. It's like, look, I don't care what you do for your day job. If you go beat, if you take a hammer and beat cows in the forehead to pay your bills. Like, what
actually, I used to do that.
Slaughterhouse worker.
That was my first job, was in a slaughterhouse.
Ugh. You're literally Leatherface.
Working on the railroad.
But I actually had a full bird colonel play with me and talk about the scum of the earth. A full bird military intelligence colonel. Talk about scum and villainy. But no, he's just virtue signaling because that's.
Let's face it. He's upset. His side lost. His side lost a lot of political effort, and now all they know how to do is just lash out.
Yeah, it's going to be like this for 4 years. So
Yeah, and well, the thing is, to make it worse, even once the Orange Man goes away, it's not going away.
No.
No.
They're going to pivot to Elon, and you're going to see Elon derangement there as well. There's
Mhm.
always going to be a big bad evil person, and unfortunately, it's just we've seen a whole like slew of people that were just broken over the last decade, and they're just going to be around. They're just going to find something new to latch onto, and that's going to be the big thing they're obsessed over.
Yeah,
Back in the
it's
80s, they were the church moms. In the 90s, they railed against video games. These are the same types of people.
They are the people that they claim to be against.
Yes, they very much are. But as I've said before, we're already seeing from the right side, puritanical movements and stuff.
Yes.
And so I'm just kind of like, I didn't distance myself from one side just so I could run into the arms of an oppressive other side. Just let me have my pushy. Let me have my let me have all my my sex, my drugs, my rock and roll, and don't mess with my stuff, and I'm good. Don't touch my guns.
So, Magnificent Devil. The thing is, Trump in 4 years is going to be gone. He cannot run anymore. That boogeyman is going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
In less than
they'll have to find another one.
And Elon Musk is going nowhere. He's relatively young. He's in his 50s. He
Yep.
could be around another 20, 25 years easily.
Oh, easily. With his kind of money, he's got all kinds of health care that he can get. So he might become our first, actual cyborg. But yeah. This is how it works. In 2028, the next guy will be worse than Trump, and by 2032, Trump will be not that bad. Yeah, very much. Daniel, you're right.
And
Ellen
2036. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, Ellen DeGeneres, like 20 years ago, would have been calling him the incarnation of evil when she was doing her stand-up or something. And now then she was like taking photographs of with him at a baseball game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, to Jason Bullman, it's like, dude, you really need to, think about what you're posting, because, you own a company, and I understand that right now your target market is very happy with you because you are producing products that seem to cater exclusively to them, and they like it. And with all of the disaffection towards the 2024 Dungeons and Dragons edition, I get it that you're trying to hype up your brand so that you can make those kind of magnificent sales you got when PF1 came out and everybody was so outraged over 4th edition. But I think you've picked the wrong climate to do it in this time. Well,
it's just a matter of do better. Like, we don't need to push these divisive politics, and this should have never been done.
Right.
Like, and I would say the same thing to people on the right. It's like, look, you want, at the end of the day, the ultimate thing you should want is for people to buy your books and play RPGs. You want to sell product, and everything you do outside of talking about games has the potential of chasing people away. I don't care if you're going to start talking about Star Wars nonstop. The Trekkies might stop buying your books for that. True. Well, the 5 that are left.
Yeah, the only ones that are left. But anyway, so as we're not completely one.
I could think of a good equivalent.
Yeah, no, you're right. Well, I mean, there's all the other people who had things that they enjoyed that they no longer do. But anyway, here's something for a little bit of positivity. We do have some positivity. I've got a couple of things for tonight. First off, I have the most interesting worldwide book collection coming my way over the last month. And I haven't done a show and tell in a long time, and I'm very behind on unboxings. So really quick, let me steal the spot. And let's see. Some Mexican guy sent me this. It's just some Mexican guy sent me that. Let's see.
Latinoric?
Yeah. A Spanish dude sent me this. Let me see.
What the hell is wrong with your table?
Nothing. It's just dirty.
Oh.
From painting. Some Dutch guy sent me this.
Oh, nice.
I thought he was black.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. He also masquerades as black. Let me see. Some Australian dude sent me this. This is really good, by the way. And last but not least, two vampire loving weirdos sent me this. So yeah.
I've got one of the players in my weekly OSC group has been going on nonstop about Tales of Vergosa. That's been the big thing he's been wanting to pivot to next.
Well, I'm willing to run it for our group on a Sunday if you like. I mean, I have the cards, I got the dice, I've got two of the adventures. Actually, no, I've got two of the adventures and a third one on the way. So I really am impressed with the way it is laid out, with the way it's handled. Once you know the rules, you could hand somebody the module who has never read it. Like I could hand, Raltz the module right now, and based on the information in it, he could easily, get a session going, like without even having to read through it, because everything is so well described and it's laid out.
Huh.
Well, maybe if you've got a seat open, I could send word his way if he wants to get a game in.
You know us. It's Sundays. It's as open as it gets. We're usually struggling for players.
Well, I also still want to ask before I start, just throwing links around willy nilly. Like, hey, by the way, I sent links to 500 people. I hope you're ready.
Yeah, I could just see some of the people showing up, and I'm just like, really, dude? Why did you send him? But okay, man, tell me about this diamond thing.
Okay, so so to set things up, I thought the big news of the day was going to be the Neil Gaiman stuff going on, which Grim has put his video out, and that's been a bubbling cauldron. But the thing is, I don't really have any real affinity for Neil Gaiman stuff. I've read a couple issues of Sandman, and that's a whole other thing altogether.
I like it.
The big story that has been popping up, let me try to find where did this go? Okay. Unfortunately, we got to go with Bleeding Cool because that's what I have, but actually, yes. So, as it stands, the comic book industry largely has one prominent retailer, one prominent distributor that's been putting the comics out, and that is one Diamond Comics.
Diamond Comics.
Which has largely become the sole monopoly of the comic book industry, with a couple of small exceptions.
At one point, we thought they were going to go under.
In fact, when the COVID lockdowns had just started up, they basically just shut down damn near instantly and left everyone hanging.
Yep.
So there we go. So today, a letter was put out to basically all of the comic shop retailers.
Oh,
this
we blow that up.
Coming from Chuck Parker, the president of Diamond Comics.
Oh boy.
It says, Dear valued customers, I'm writing to share one of the most challenging messages of my career. Earlier today, Diamond made the difficult but necessary decision to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. This step is that's one of the well, it's not the total end of things, but they have a chance to reorganize and get things back on track, potentially to save the business.
Wait. We have already received a commitment from Universal Distribution to purchase Alliance Game Distributors. Okay, Alliance, for those of y'all who don't know, is one of the biggest game distributors, hobby game distributors in the United States. Back when I was at the store that I used to work at, we used to get shipments from Alliance all the time, and they're still in business. And I thought they were doing some pretty robust business with CMON's parent company, but I'm not sure.
So basically, at this point, what's going on is Diamond is basically looking to start selling off parts to keep the company together, and this is also an unfortunate thing because we've seen so much of the industry, a lot of the comic shop retailers that have push to stop any sort of innovations, any sort of changes to the system because they were comfortable. And that is the last thing a business should be, is comfortable. Like, because that's when you start getting stagnant, you stop adapting with the times. They fought tooth and nail against digital comics for decades, and against putting comics into places other than comic book stores, because they saw it all as competition that would take away from them. Well,
They were right.
Well, not really. The thing is, if you put comic books into like
Walmarts,
on the Walmarts or in your gas stations.
Okay. Real quick. Why not? Because I remember being a kid. Do you know where I got my Gamma World box set? By Mart. The original box of Gamma World that came with the messed up U.S. map and had exactly one book in it. I got that at Mart. I purchased.
That's exactly the point. Is because you want to put these things out there for people to discover, for those kids who might pick up that first comic. Well, they ceded so much ground, they gave up so much territory, and now you know what you can find in stores across the country easy? Manga. Like the last time I looked to one of the few remaining Barnes and Nobles that are still around, I saw barely 5 shelves for comics and like 40 for manga. It is completely. They are
life support,
struggling to survive. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I remember I bought my first Red Box set, and I'm talking about the Moldvay set, not the Menser set. But I bought my first Moldvay set from a Toys by Roy.
Oh God!
Yeah, you know how long ago that was. Yeah, and nobody's heard of a Toys by Roy now.
I bought my red set off the back of a truck. I mean, that's basically what you just said. A Toys by Roy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's how old that stuff was, dude. Yeah. Oh yeah, Magnificent Devils. He got his D&D basic set in 1988 at Kmart. I got my little collection, like Barbarian Prince and Star Viking and all these other little mini games that they used to sell way back in the day.
Oh yeah.
They were cool. I bought that at a Mundens.
And
nobody's even heard of a Mundens.
And then to put it in that context, like if every single D&D book or RPG supplement, you could only get them at local game stores. Well, then you guys would have never gotten into any of those. You would have just never had all that. And it's because they've failed to push these things out there. And now you are seeing the distribution getting taken out of their hands. Udon Entertainment is going to their own direct store where you can pick up things. Hang on, I had one here. Dark Horse is doing some likewise things. They're starting to put some of their own things into. And by the way, of course, I pulled this up for your T-shirt.
Yeah, Berserk.
Dark Horse,
by the way, you want to break it down a little. You want to break it down a little bit for Savo? She's so lost.
Okay, so to try to recap, the comic book industry largely had one distributor, which was called Diamond Comics.
Mm-hmm.
And they have largely gone into bankruptcy. As at the moment, though, Marvel and DC are going to be fine for getting stuff out because they've moved on to companies such as Penguin Random House, and I think Luna is the other distributor. But all of your other comic companies are kind of lost in the wind because unless they have these deals set up in place or have some way to get books out there, you're going to see a lot of the few remaining comic shops probably start shuttering their doors left, right, and center. And that's especially tragic for me because I have one I've been going to that is relatively nearby. I do comic videos over on Nick Weiser on Friday nights where we talk books. And this has been this has all been a challenge people have been talking about for a while. And one of the people who's been talking about this most of all, Eric July.
Oh yeah, Mr. Eric July.
He's been beating this drum for a while. There's a video he put out about a year ago talking about the problems of of the comic book industry. He's now to the point. He's gone to the point now to where he's doing distribution himself. Rip Ascends, and because he's not only just publishing books now, he's now starting to help other people distribute their stuff.
Oh, okay. Savo says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just commenting about the ancient retail history. It's positively Paleolithic to me. Is there no hope for brick and mortar stores anywhere? Well, not if WotC gets their way."
And that's the ever-present challenge. They've got to try to adapt with the times, which is going to be hard pressed considering just all the changes we're seeing. I mean, how many places are probably not even going to have their own dedicated delivery guys because Uber Eats came into town and now they don't have to keep a guy on staff to run pizzas.
Nope. No, matter of fact, I always thought that was the funniest thing in the world is, whenever you actually see like, Papa John's or some Domino's or something like that, and you can get them on DoorDash, and I'm just kind of like, why don't you just contact them directly?
Well, because they probably don't have they might not even have a delivery guy.
No, they do. It's just, I guess it's your choice. It's like, do you want to tip the DoorDash guy or do you want to tip the Domino's guy?
I don't want to tip either. I'm a fucking cheapskate.
Go pick it up yourself then.
Yeah, that's what I do. Like, no, go fuck yourself. Especially when that's this whole, if you can't tip 30%, then you don't need to go out to eat. Your terms are acceptable.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you know what? I can go eat a sandwich. I can go make some ramen. I actually know how to cook. I've cooked, for people, in a professional capacity.
It takes a lot of balls to, on one hand, go, if you can't afford to tip 30%, then you don't need to be eating out. And then in the very next breath, complain because you lost your job.
Mm-hmm.
So one last thing I kind of want to touch on with this comic thing, and
sure,
then I'll kind of cede it. Is just the innovations that have been coming about. And of course, I've kind of brought up Young Ripper with his thing. He's helped like Drunk 3PO distribute his book. I think Yellow Flash, you got one coming up here soon to go out, which is. But I mean, even in our own familiar grounds, we do have some options, such as Drive-Thru Comics.
Yeah, DTRPG. I've been looking on there more and more lately for old back issues of stuff that I, no longer exist or that's almost impossible to find. I mean, yeah, I still prefer a physical comic, but, I don't want to pay scalper prices on eBay for it.
No.
I mean, here, and the thing is, it's not all just old books. Like, here's a new one. This is Mike Barron's Nexus that he's been doing some crowdfunding with. He put that up on here.
Jeez, that is new. I remember talking to Mike Barron. He's a really cool guy.
But
yeah,
that's the state of the comic industry, and unfortunately, they failed to adapt with the times. And manga ate their lunch, and now they don't. Kind of no one cares about it anymore, except for us old people.
Which is a shame, the two most
because I'll say which is a shame because there are good books out there. Like I will never not take an opportunity to shield Transformers. Is one of the best books that came out last year. So good it outsold so good it outsold Batman.
Wow,
Flash Gordon.
I didn't even know that was out.
Huh.
Oh, and that's also where I will go and find some something I think you'll like. T-shirt.
Is that Conan?
Vampirist.
Carmilla, yeah. I heard about that.
And
why would I like boobed girls?
We can't show that on YouTube.
No, we sure can't. He says there is hope for stores, but there needs to be a paradigm shift. Stores need to be value-added experiences. Yeah, I agree. The game stores near me are doing well. Are the ones with a strong social scene? Yeah. In my town, we really only have one game store. And it does have a strong social scene, however, and that's one of the things that keeps it open. That and the proliferation of Magic the Gathering players that fill up its halls all the time. But
well, I mean, like it or not, that's the pivot that had to come to keep these stores alive. Because, I mean, D&D is fun, but you can't quite get as many people in a shop to keep it going.
No.
No,
At,
I think half of the appeal for Magic is also the endorphin rush that you get from it that you can't get from D&D, because in D&D it's the pacing is different. Putting together your characters and all that stuff, it's more randomized and everything else, whereas Magic the Gathering is kind of like you spend, weeks or whatever perfecting one particular style of deck to do one particular thing, and then you get to spring it on somebody else and watch it go to work and destroy them. I mean, that's honestly quite a thrill.
You get to destroy your enemy and watch him lament.
Yes.
well, that
Because
you
he's a
could get in,
loser.
and also in the over the course of the time you have to play, play some D&D for let's say an hour or two, you can probably get in 3 or 4 games of Magic.
Yes, that's also true. Of course, you do have to have sleeves, because one of the most popular things to have at those game stores is pizza.
Yeah.
That's all you want, is some greasy bastard handling your cards. Is that my Mox?
Oh, dude. The thing is, the card game space has been getting all kinds of competition too. One Piece has a really strong card game. Gundam is apparently coming for both Magic the Gathering and Warhammer 40K this summer.
Hey, I worked in the game store back when the card boom first happened. I saw Magic the Gathering. I saw so many things come and go. Feng Shui, Five Rings, what was it? Jihad, the Monty Python card game, Star Trek, the Next Generation card game. Just to name a few of them. Was it Animego? Not Animego, but it was Anime something or other. I used to collect that pretty hardcore. But it's like, yeah, I saw all the card games coming in, and we went through this glut once before. I think it's just a cycle now.
It is. It's just, well, the messed up thing, is the comic book industry has really been struggling since the 90s, and it's just it's really struggled because the distributors didn't help.
Well, that and the fact that for years and years now, they've been putting out a product that nobody wants to read, because they took all their top shelf talent who used to be dependable and good at writing comic books. And I'm talking guys like Mike Barron, and some of those other guys out there.
Well,
and they just kicked them all out.
The big problem is ultimately that really you need the big two to keep the entire industry afloat. And if Marvel and DC aren't both firing on full cylinders, or if only one of those is only putting out like half their effort, the entire industry suffers as a result. Because as good as Conan and Transformers are, they're not going to get people into the stores like a really good run of Spider-Man, really good X-Men.
Yeah, I mean, to give you an example out there.
Although what might get people in the stores is Marvel Rivals and that new Sue Storm skin. Have you seen that?
I have.
No.
You talking about the was it the Malice skin? Yeah. But the deal is like, okay, what Ironcaster's basically talking about is the fact that most, for the most part, your comic book, your non necessarily comic book junkies will still know names like Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, maybe the Flash, probably Thor, because he's popular in the movies and stuff. But they don't go in there for issues of The Crow, especially not after that movie.
Look what people are getting, though. They go in there, they're like, hey, I remember Superman. I liked him a lot when I was a kid. And they go in and get a Superman book, and what are they treated to? Kid Superman, French kissing kid Batman. And they're like, what the fuck? What's this shit?
Exactly. And that's the thing, man. It's one of our panelists who used to be on here pretty regularly worked in a comic book store, and I used to go visit him pretty much every single day because he'd always tell me what indie comics had come in. And this was back during the comic hype era when, you had Image bursting out and putting out a new title every day. And what was it? Rob Liefeld basically was like, churning out comic books as fast as he could, masturbate them into existence. But, and I do mean that. But the deal is, it's like even at that point, I was picking those up, but I was also picking up all the indies. You know, I have the oldest issues of The Crow, the stuff that was like before it became popular, when it was still like, you know, just part of a little set of comic book images in, you know, the back pages of comic books. You know, this was also the only place you could get adult comics and stuff like that. And when I'm talking adult, I'm talking about like Grips or Faust or some of those other oldies, you know. And that's the real appeal of going into a comic book store, is really just, the connoisseurs are coming in there for the indies. The mainstream guys are going in there for, you know, like the Spider-Man, the big two. And maybe they'll come away with an issue of something that's, you know, indie, like a Dark Horse comic or something. But yeah, without the presence of the big two to start you off, it's kind of like it cuts your traffic down. I mean, if you just ran a comic book store with nothing but independent comics, you'd fold in months.
You wouldn't even be able to run a hot dog stand with just those little indie books.
Mm-mm.
Although, as I said, there's the new Invisible Woman character has come, and people are hyped over it. And I happen to find a little trailer for that character model. If you happen to want to see this,
I've already seen it.
Yes, but I think the audience wants to see it.
Okay, fine.
Is it porn? I'll bet it's porn.
No, it's not. It's porn adjacent, but
Although the funny thing is, Marvel Rivals, they've basically went out and like fully like fleshed out the character models, which means the porn is going to be so much better than what Overwatch had.
well, that's also true.
T-shirt, did you see that?
No, it's in Lagavision. I think you're getting about like 3 FPS on there.
You got feet.
Oh, look,
God.
toes.
Oh God. Oh God. Here come the foot weirdos.
Foot weirdo. Thanks.
Oh God. No.
Hey, I have standards though, you know? Can't just be any old feet. They sure can't stink.
Vortex field!
You know, this would be an awesome video if we could actually see it.
Disappear!
Oh, is it not playing for you? Either way, it was primarily we got a great skin, and she's got a nice bit of cake to her.
Yeah, well, she's playing a character that was kind of like what everybody wanted to see Sue Storm turn into. Because I remember when Malice first showed up in the comic books, because she was affected by was it the Hate Monger?
Here you go. How about just a still image?
That works. Yeah, see that shows it off just perfect right there. You got Butai.
Mm-hmm.
Course,
And
you know,
of course, the few remaining like Concord and Overwatch players are still trying to like get them to change these.
well, you know, you don't want to make any money.
But does anybody really care what they want? I mean, seriously.
I mean, you know,
Look,
it's
Marvel Rivals is like got $150 million from the first month alone. I think they'll sleep okay.
And yesterday, this morning, I should say, I saw what I think is going to be the Witcher killer. Because Witcher 4 is supposed to be out, or supposed to be coming out. However, a studio that is ex-CD Projekt Red employees, including the director and the the story writer, the scenario editor, whatever, for The Witcher 3, is also part of this studio. Basically, like a big jump of CD Projekt Red regulars jumped ship and started their own company. And their first game is going to hit sometime this year, and it looks amazing. We've only seen the cinematic trailer with a few little images from it, but here is Blood of Dawnwalker. Yeah, Rebel Wolves, that's the name of the studio. This thing looks amazing. I don't think we'll get claimed for this, but never know.
Yeah, we should be fine.
Lunka! Don't hurt her!
You gave us quite the chase, young.
Please, sir. She's just a child!
Uh-oh. Did it pause?
Roderick, remind me, did I make an exception for children?
No, sire.
Having some connection
No.
issues, I guess.
That would have been foolish.
I think it's not just me.
Did not.
Nope.
They spread the plague just as well as adults.
And there's only one way to stamp out this sickness.
No!
Savo, you beat him to
Not
it.
just a runner,
Yep.
but a fighter too. Had we met under a different moon, things might have ended.
This action scene would be great if we could see it.
Hey, you know what they could call this?
Blood of the Dawnwalker?
Vampire.
Yes.
Wait.
This actually got a lot of Vampire the Masquerade players pretty hyped, I'm going to tell you. That's the first thing I thought when I saw it. I thought, oh my god, it's a new Vampire the Masquerade. And then I found out, no, it isn't.
She needs help. Fast.
Even better.
Please, let us pass through. I beg of you. Please. Please.
Be careful who you ask for help.
Yeah.
Great.
You're exactly right, Devil.
I don't know. How?
I am life. I am death. I am everything in between. I have been watching your little valley. Pestilence, famine, killing. Blood spilt carelessly, like water. Things will be different now. For all of you.
Oh, hello, Strahd. Nice to see you.
Oh, this is great. Having, especially just coming off of.
Look at this.
It's great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
God, it's gorgeous.
It is. This is going to be the Witcher killer right here, guys.
I'm gonna say it, and it's gonna be unpopular, but I'm gonna say it. I was never really that impressed with The Witcher.
Okay, well, that's fair. And yes, Ironhead, yes, very Vampire the Dark Ages. Like I said, I thought it was a new Vampire the Masquerade game, but yeah, WoW was exactly what I thought, Cal.
You know what else is going to be killing other than The Witcher? Assassin's Creed.
Oh, come on.
I thought
I'm
Assassin's Creed
sorry,
was dead.
That was death by suicide.
Yeah, they pretty much committed seppuku. I mean, and they did it in front of the whole world. I mean, it's like every single time they try to do anything, it's on an inappropriate day, or it's culturally insensitive or something else. And this is a call from people who are supposed to be all about diversity, inclusivity, and all this other stuff. I just can't laugh my ass off enough. But yes, I did tell you I had 2 positive things for tonight. And yes, the new books that are worth a look. And yes, this new game that is coming out, Dawnwalker, looks really good.
Hey, how would you like to see? Let me see if I can find. How would you like to see the upcoming cover?
Oh, for your new book?
Yeah.
See it.
Hang on, give me a second.
Sure.
You know,
Documents.
now that I've seen that trailer, it's got me excited. That's something that I'm gonna be basically keeping an eye on. So I think for once I might actually buy a game at launch, because normally I always wait for sales, but I don't think I can wait for that. Like, I want to hang out with that big fat Chinese vampire dude and
It's Mongolian, I think.
and go running across Europe as we butchering paladins and in the Age of the Black Death.
I mean, anti-heroes have never gone out of style. People still love them.
They do, but it can also be done too much. And while I do think we are in an age of probably time to have some genuine heroes, it's good to have them around. People love Shadow the Hedgehog, and that's kind of bucking that trend that I'm talking about.
Yeah, that movie made like all kinds of money, and they would not include. What'd you say?
The franchise now gone over $1 billion.
Yeah, and they wouldn't put it on the Oscars because it didn't satisfy their requirements. So yay!
What? It didn't?
Nope. Apparently, it didn't meet the requirements to get an Oscar. So
not enough on-screen diversity, even though
Yeah.
Idris Elba is voicing one of the characters, but apparently because he voices a character, that's not enough.
Yep.
Hang on.
Yeah, in Vampire: The Dark Ages, the Gangrel clan is mostly Mongol or yeah. As a matter of fact, I remember one of the Gangrel subtypes in Vampire: The Dark Ages is the Anda.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Hey, those are peepers.
Well, no,
Oh,
they're
right.
actually they are. They are. They're saurian reptiles. Believe it or not, those are both female. Those are
I guess
two females.
you follow the lizards don't have breasts thing.
Yes, but in the story, the members of the race always laugh that if they look on Galnet, basically the galactic internet, they're always depicted as having breasts.
I hope you realize you're going to upset a lot of artists.
Why?
Well, because they're be titty drawers.
I have Lady Kina. She's a titty drawing. sitting on a throne.
All right. Well, guys, we got a little bit of positivity. We had a little bit of critical thinking and some other stuff. What do you say? And you're yawning, so maybe it's time to close it down.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think I'll go take a nap.
Oh, good job then.
Unless, of course, you want me to talk about the Red Ranger Isekai anime.
We'll save that because I would actually like to see a little bit more about it myself. But yeah, all right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And hey, look at that. Savo says you love that idea. Maybe you should ask Savo to do like a illustration or two for the stuff. I don't know. It might be kind of fun. The one thing I love about Savo's work is when she does Fivefold the Twit. It's funny how she has the serious characters, and you could just tell by Fivefold's expression all the time just how goofy she is, and it's just I love how she captures that look. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, and y'all are just like, "What are you talking about, T-shirt?" But anyway, shall we close?
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
How about
All right.
how about one last little laugh on the way out?
Oh, okay. Give me one.
Oh wait, it's video.
Oh, so we'll get to watch it at stutter per minute.
Yeah, what the heck? We'll try it.
Okay. Oh boy.
There we go. We gotta refill some mustard.
Oh,
Try it that way.
that doesn't work either, though.
That guy's look. You can practically see it in his face.
Could.
You two are idiots.
I mean, I suppose one thing I could close out with is we did get the final episode of Landman this season, and apparently the show did extremely well. It's like one of the highest charting streaming releases that they've had at Paramount Plus. So they haven't announced a season 2 yet, but I'm pretty damn sure there is going to be one.
Oh, for sure. Was that one of the Taylor Sheridan shows?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
that dude basically owns half of Paramount.
He pretty much does. It's like all his shows are the biggest ones. So. But anyway. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us this Tuesday, and we will see you on Saturday at 4 p.m. for The Week in Geek. Y'all take care.
Yep.
We need to make an end video for this thing.
Yeah,